Okay. Let's move on to the weekly chatter. Poor product managers. Product managers are suffering so much. Let's all just take a moment to appreciate them, right?
Pawan,
Product
this is for
managers
you.
is strange role. You're everywhere. Roadmaps, features, customer calls, firefights. But at the end of the day, it's hard to say, I built this. You don't write the code, you don't design the screens, you don't close the deal. Your work is everywhere, but it feels invisible. That's where the unfulfillment creeps in. Because unlike an engineer or a designer, your wins are intangible. That alignment call where you diffuse a conflict, forgot it. The prioritization framework that saved the team weeks overlooked. The counter's nose that kept the roadmap focused invisible. The truth is, being a PM often means doing the unglamorous work that no one notices, but everyone needs. And while it's easy to feel that you're not contributing enough, remember this. The best product managers don't build things, they build teams that ship great products. What's been your toughest moment as a PM? Let's talk. Pavan,
Damn.
as a former product manager and as
Hmm.
former somebody who's led the company and everything, as this lady mentioned, what are your quick thoughts on this?
I do agree on the former part. Product manager's job is a thankless job. I do feel that if I have to give an example, right? Imagine a pearl necklace. There is a worthless thread, and then there are pearls on it. That worthless thread is actually a product manager. And each of these pearls is actually individual teams like customer success, engineering, so on and so forth. So it's a thankless job. Without the thread, the necklace is not complete. And without the
Oof.
pearls, again, the
Bro,
necklace is not complete.
you can say this about literally any role, man.
Yeah.
I
You can
mean,
say
I
this
don't
about
think
legal,
so.
you can say this about engineering, you can say this about sales, you can say this about HR, you can say this about literally any role, man.
I
No, but I
do
do,
think,
but I do agree. I mean, and I am giving my perspective of working with, obviously Pawan in the past, and we've worked for a long time together. I fully agree to this point, and I think this is where Pawan was also good at, right? The good PMs don't build products directly. It is about how you enable teams, that ship some of these great products. And just looking back on this exact comment, right? I know you were working with a lean engineering team, but the way you help them optimize on efficiency, optimize on time. I think those are the skills that a PM sort of is most responsible for, and
बस
eventually.
हो गया खत्म करो.
Yeah, bro, what are these beer biceps like?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Then let's move
We
on.
should find negativity because negativity sells.
But look, product management is obviously a great role. It's a very important role. But look, product managers get a lot of credit, especially in today's age. Everybody wants to be a PM. Random PMs are getting, pats on the back, every now and then. So while yes, I do agree that product management is super important. Let's quit it with it's the most underrated role in a company because that's obviously not true. I mean, it sure differs from company to company, industry to industry, but you can't just say a general statement like that and expect people to not say anything about it, I guess.
No,
Yeah,
product
no.
management as a role is only very subjective. Whatever you did in one company, there is like very less percent chance that you can same replicate it in another or in
Uh,
one team to another. What you did or what happens on one team for one particular product is very subjective to that. You
So
can't generalize it.
my point is you can actually say this about marketing and sales as well, right? How you
yeah.
how you've sold in your previous company is not how you sell today, right? And there are multiple nuances that differ. So
Hmm.
it's there in every
And
job,
even
dude. Let's
sales is a thankless job, right? Because eventually, what sometimes folks in sales feel is, oh, all of the credit is going to engineers, all of the credit is going to the product folks because how great the product is, and it's not on the salesperson's acumen, for example, right? So I think it can be debated about almost any role. I agree with
yeah,
Preet on that.
even marketing for that matter, you can say no because everybody has a opinion on
Marketing
marketing.
is like that only, bro. It's fine. No, marketing is like that only.
So this is why nobody follows you on LinkedIn, dude. Your takes are shit. Okay, uh, let's move on to another interesting post. How content is changing. Something wild is happening, and it's changing in an entire industry in China. Short form dramas, 1 to 2 minute episodes designed for your phone are exploding, and the numbers are wild. They're already surpassing movie box offices. ByteDance's Hongo app is the prime example of this boom. In Jan 24, it had 10 million active users. By March, the number had grown to 20 million, and by September, it had reached its peak with a whopping 120 million active users. Now, this shouldn't seem surprising since most people are busy and have short attention spans. But these aren't just chopped up TV shows, they're videos purpose built for quick consumption. This shift is global, not just happening in China. It was already projected that by 2024, 90% of internet traffic will be short form videos and that they'll generate revenue of 10 billion by 2030 in India alone. At this rate, people who buy TVs might hang them vertically instead of horizontally.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Crazy.
Interesting. I actually, really like this. I think the vertical screen prediction is particularly interesting because, it obviously shows how deeply mobile first thinking is reshaping even some of these traditional media formats. What do you think?
I feel like this is already in India. Kuku FM is doubling down on this. But most interesting part around this for me was there are a lot of Instagram channels and YouTube channels which are taking large movies now and are dividing them into 30 seconds each. And each of the
Yes.
reels has like millions of views on it. This is the
Dude,
first step in that direction.
I can't tell you how many times I've started a new series or a new movie just based on a bunch of YouTube shorts or clips that I've watched, right? It's crazy. But I
No,
think the
but
point that Varun's trying to make here is that these are not large movies cut into
yeah,
small parts and shown. These are movies itself created with the purpose of being 1 2 minutes
Yeah,
long. And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what is
but I actually have a very strong controversial opinion on this, and this goes to sort of talk about, and Pawan, we used to talk about this a lot of the art of storytelling itself, right? And what I feel with this is almost like a final lane in the coffin of deep, meaningful storytelling. We've gone from 2 hours, 3 hours movies to 40 minutes episodes, and to 10 minutes YouTube videos, then to shorts. Now we are saying that we'll do full-fledged content in under 1 minute. So I also feel these aren't very purpose-built videos, and this is almost like uh, intellectual masturbation to some extent, right? Wherein it's a warning sign of maybe about our ability or declining ability to engage with more substantive content also. What do you think about that? Like, I just feel it's also going
yeah.
in that direction.
You
No,
don't
that's a
get
good
hooked to
point, Saksham.
entertainment for a purpose. That's a wrong thing to seek, is what I feel. Entertainment is entertainment. Purpose driven entertainment is a niche.
Yeah, so Saksham, there's actually a lot to unpack over here. I agree with your point that decreasing attention spans are a problem, right? Because from consuming long newspaper articles to consuming news on social to now even smaller snippets of news via tweets and everything, it's crazy that's happening. But it's also important to understand that creating content and having a very finite timeline around it. Like for example, making a short movie under 2 minutes, it's very hard to do that. You need to be super
Yeah.
smart, super crisp, super sharp. So I would say it's a lot more harder to do this than making long form content. And I'm sure a lot of interesting content channels are going to be born from this new age of content strategy itself.
Yeah, I
But
mean, my
these
only
are,
point still is the attention span, right? Like with this attention
Yeah.
span just diminishing almost rapidly, right? Now we don't even see these changes happen every 5 years, every 10 years. We see a new thing happening every 6 months, every 12 months, right? So my only fear is at what point, like people that just entirely stop creating, let's say, for example, movies, and these are things that we have at least in our lives, grown up watching, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
it's also you have to adapt to change, but it's still just maybe we can keep debating and discussing on this. It's a very interesting topic.
the interesting pattern is in last 2 through 3 years, the number of movies that have been released is a small chunk of number of TV series that have released. So the movie format has grown from like actually a 3 hour concept to a 10 hour concept with 10 episodes having one series. And on the other end, there is this 4 minute video or a 20-minute video has been reduced to like a minute. So it's a contradictory change that is happening actually.
Hmm.
Cool. Let's move on. So the founder of Blinkit posted this, right? After Blinkit launched their 10-minute food delivery, he says that's outside of Blinkit and Zomato. As Deepinder Goyal has always said, Zomato will never launch private brands on the Zomato app to compete with its restaurant partners. This still holds true, which is why the service is not being built within Zomato, the organization which runs the brand or the app. This is a standalone team with a standalone app, and no Zomato restaurant data has been used. We will not even use the Zomato app to market Bistro. This is going to be a significant additional cost to us, but ethics and sticking to our word mean more than anything else to us at Zomato, and we are not going to give it up to save some marketing cost. All the companies innovating with us on Bistro also work with a number of restaurants, and our success at Bistro has the potential to add value for the entire food and restaurant ecosystem. Look at this. Come on, let's not say things like
Yeah.
no Zomato is used. Every employee can look up which food orders are ordered more on Zomato. Even the restaurant partners are not going to believe this. Isn't Arnab Gupta ex Zomato, by the way, Pavan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think so is right as well. Do you
Yeah,
believe
man. It's
that?
No, this post is, I think a classic example of some sort of shit posting in a way. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, to be honest.
let's
No,
see if
this is
anyone.
exactly going on in the direction of white label brands on Amazon.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we spoke about that in the previous episode, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah.
no one is stupid, bro.
I mean, Swiggy also has done that now. Zepto also has done that now. They have
I mean,
even options like,
how can you say it won't compete with the restaurant that we have on Zomato? You are going to have the same restaurants on Bistro as well, right? If you have to serve coffee, you have to have those same 10 brands that are serving coffee in the state or the
Hey,
city.
no, da. So bistro is basically, their own kitchen, their own cloud kitchen food. They're not going to feature any other
I
restaurants. It's
see.
only going to be their stuff. But look, here's the thing, right? Zomato has a ton of data on what are the popular dishes in each location and customer preferences. Are you saying that they are not going to give this intelligence to the bistro team while they're building the app, and they're okay for the bistro team to try and experiment and keep failing by burning millions and millions of dollars? That's
I
not
think
fucking
that
going to
is,
happen.
yeah, and that is already happening in this poster that you see. You look at this image, right? There is a samosa that will appeal to some North Indian. There is like a cappuccino which will appeal to a tech audience of Bangalore along with the croissant. So this image is clearly well thought through.
I was waiting for you to say it. Croissant.
Awesome. But do let us know, guys, what do you think about this? Do you think this is stupid? Do you think what do you think
I
the
think
Zomato's plan is with this?
I think the challenge is there is no way for the general public to actually validate this, right? We should just trust Deepinder's and Albinder's word for it, right? And that's the reason why people are being a little sus about this, I guess.
It sounds a match made in heaven, no? Every time I hear their names together, there's just so much rhyme scheme and alliteration happening, just on a
Albinder and
lighter
Yeah,
note.
Dipinder.
I feel like he was born to get acquired by Deepinder Joss. Like,
Okay, okay.
But imagine, right? Like, if Blinkit was not acquired, it would have been such a bigger brand by itself now. Like,
absolutely,
just a
absolutely.
year down the line. Like,
Yeah.
hats off to Dipinder as well that he spotted that. The whole
For
market
sure.
was against him. The board was against him. Everyone was against him in not acquiring Blinkit.
How long ago did this acquisition happen?
I think so. A year and a half before that bump came in Blinkit's revenues and Zepto became viral.
It's been a couple of years, I think, yeah.
Okay, so
They
then I
are.
think we have a few more years for Albinder's shares to vest and see if he remains in Blinkit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's it from this week of the Indian Startup Desktop. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so below. See you next week.
See you guys. Bye bye.